That's called the Miko Crow Cop kick. My dad taught me that one. So shout out Miko, thanks.
Congratulations, man. Can't wait to see you in the cage again. A.J. McKee, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight House. We're here. We're joined with A.J. McKee coming off a devastating victory at Bellator 178. What's going on, A.J.? Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Big fight you had on Friday. Big performance, man. How happy were you with it?
I was excited, just to be able to get back to what I know I was capable of, and just getting serious and locking back down.
True, man. That's one thing I was going to ask you. I guess we can get to that now. How good was it to finally get, not finally, but to get back on the finishing path where you're finishing fighters? You had a couple decisions in a row. How did it feel to get back on that track?
It was good. I was just getting bored. Just training every day, every night, and just training month after month, and going in there to finish somebody in the first minute of a fight. It's like, okay, you train 2-3 months as hard as I do, and yeah, the outcome is great. You knock somebody out, but it's like, man, okay, I'm not trying to wait another 3 months until I fight again. But it's just part of the growing, learning the sport, and putting the tools that you have together, and really utilizing them. So I'm on the grind now, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to get back in there next week,
Absolutely, man. I know you told me there's no days off for you. We spoke before, like a while back, and you were saying that you're in the gym daily. There's no real days off for you. So I imagine you're looking to get back in there right away. How smooth was the head kick? Was the technique? Like, was that how you visioned this fight going? I know before the fight you said there was going to be a knockout.
I knew it was going to be a knockout. I knew I was going to knock him out. Like that was the thing. I was leaving it all in there to knock him out. Neither he's getting dropped or I'm getting dropped. But I'm going to be swinging for my life. So that was the plan. But the head kick, it was just kind of, I didn't expect the head kick. I kind of was switching stands back and forth, and when I go orthodox, I usually rip my right leg, and he had his corner. I heard his corner say he's gonna kick. But honestly, it was him throwing kicks that got me into kicking mode. So when I switched stands to orthodox, I was gonna fire the kick. His corner called it out, and then I switched back, and then I kind of measured my range, noticed he wasn't in punching range, so I fired a kick, and just my whole intentions were to get the kick there,
Right.
So I got the kick there, and when it hit him, like that's when my adrenaline rush just started going, because I was really calm the entire fight.
Yeah,
and
you were.
It just started pumping me up, and that's when I went in with that little hammer fist.
Yeah. Were you surprised that he dropped with the kick? I mean, he got his hand up. He did, I guess, what he was supposed to do, but your foot kind of wrapped right around it and caught him. Were you surprised at all that it dropped him the way it did?
Yeah, because I didn't throw the kick as hard as I could. Like, I literally just I just threw it to get it there.
Yeah.
So it was just surprising, and then I was like, oh, I dropped him, When I figured out I dropped him, I was just like, get him, Like, just the instant adrenaline just put me back in that fight or kill mode.
Mm-hmm. This is when I first saw this fight, I was like, this is a pretty dangerous fight because Mazada's a tough guy. I mean, he was 11-1. His only loss came against Cody Garbrandt, but his name wasn't very big. Did you get that same feeling that like this was? I mean, not that you don't. Obviously, you're going in there with every intention of winning and extremely confident. But did you feel like it was a more dangerous fight for you?
I felt it was a good test for me to get back on track and to see where I'm at. But I don't know. I feel like I'm ready for top 5. I'm ready for that belt. So that's just every fight. That's where my mindset is. All I see is that gold. So that's where my mindset is. If it's not one of those, then I'm not really worried about it.
True. One thing is like you. In the early parts of your career, your first 4 or 5 fights, you were steamrolling everybody, and the hype train was really building for you, and it was getting a lot of momentum. Do you feel that people started to question like how good you really were because of the couple decision wins, or like how dominant a force you could be? Did you feel that?
I just feel it showed that people couldn't gauge me. They don't know how good I am yet, and my last couple fights being boring. it shows even when I'm bored, you know, having the worst time in my life, and just doing it just because it's what I do, you know, it shows that I can still pull out wins, and that's literally at the lowest point I feel I can be, but once I continue and stay on track the way I am right now, man, sky is the limit. So it's going to be very dangerous for a lot of people, you know, especially with me locking down the way I am right now.
Yeah, man, you're looking like you're really, really stepping into your own and making that next leap, like to get into that next level. One of the things that I thought was kind of weird is with Gallagher coming onto the scene, and they put him right on the 180 card. Do you feel like they kind of got behind him more as a prospect to like give him a push? Like, did you get that feeling? I mean, they gave him Machida's brother. Oh my God! You know he's fighting Machida. Do you feel like he kind of got behind him and gave him a bit more of a push?
Giving him more of a push.
Yeah, I'm saying, like when he came in, he's had 2 fights. He hasn't fought anybody really. They put him on the 180 card. They kind of gave him Machida. Like it seems like they're kind of trying to give him this real push. Did you get that sense? Like hey man, like I deserve, like I should be on the 180 card. I should be getting this push.
Judging off of my last couple of fights, no, I don't feel I deserve that fight. Why? Because my last fight with Brandon Phillips, I should have finished Brandon Phillips. The fight with Ray Wood was still an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the fight that I wanted it to be, you know. My timing was off on my feet. He was a second ahead of me on everything. And that was just from certain things in my lifestyle that I had to change. But especially with that last fight, you know, coming off with Brandon Phillips.
Yes.
I literally just danced around that fight. I was in there, and I felt like I was sparring. I didn't even feel like I was fighting, you know. I kept him at bay. I hit him with the left hand in the first, and I felt my thumb do a little wibble wobble, so I didn't even want to throw my left hand, so I was just keeping him at bay with my jab and my hook, and really didn't have to do anything.
So what's changed? You know, you've talked about, like, now a couple times you've mentioned that you were kind of in this lull where you were just kind of going through the motions and doing what you do, and then obviously you come out. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say just being hungry again, you know, just being hungry and really, really wanting to get to that next level. No, that's not it.
What triggered it for you? Like, what triggered that hunger?
I don't know. I would say just kind of seeing the future, you know, looking what's ahead, you know. I feel like within the next 3-4 fights, I could be a world champion.
Absolutely, I agree.
On my birthday, I can be a world champion and be the youngest world champion and be undefeated and have the longest win streak in Bellator history. So there's just many records that are up and going, and on top of it, being the first father-son to fight with my dad as well, you know. So there's just many records that are up in the air right now for us to break and to just be able to get after.
You know, that's a couple times during our first conversation we had maybe a few months ago. You had said about fighting with your father on the same card. Is that this is, now you've mentioned it again? Is this a real possibility that this is going to happen? That you and your pops are going to fight on the same card?
Of course, man. My dad still trains with me every day. He was my partner for this camp to help me get my weight down and to just really get things through this fight. You know, so that it's not a possibility. It's gonna happen. You know, it's just a matter of supply and demand. You know, Bellator. It's a business. You know,
sure.
The people make Bellator happy. Bellator makes the fighters happy. The fighters make the people happy. So it's a circling supply and demand. But I continue to make Bellator happy the way I did. And I can ask and request for things that other people can't. You know, they'll give me a little leeway. I feel, especially with that being the situation it is. You know, that's something ESPN can pick up. That's something a lot of organizations and sports centers and every sport aspect can pick up. You know, being in such a tactical and hands-on sport, being able to compete father and son is kind of unheard of.
Absolutely, it definitely is unheard of. I think it's so cool, man, that's even a possibility. It's just that'd be awesome. I would love to see that. How important is your dad in your career? Like, I saw a picture. I saw a really cool picture on your. I think it was your Instagram. I was looking through it the other day, preparing for the interview. Of you flexing in front of your dad, and you were just a little guy, probably like no older than like 7 maybe. And then you had split screen with a hit. You guys as adults, obviously, as you as a man, flexing in front of him, the exact same picture. I thought it was the coolest picture, man. How important is he to your career?
Man, I wouldn't be where I am today, honestly. I don't know where I would be. If my dad wasn't in my life, I'd probably be in jail or gangbanging or doing something I had nothing I needed to do. I'd be in some. I'd be where I grew up, in the street, doing things you're not supposed to do.
Fair. Hello? Oh, we lost AJ. Give us 1 second. We're going to call him right back. Hold on 1 second. We'll get AJ back on the line. A little disconnection there. It's a good conversation we're having with AJ so far.
Hello?
Hey, AJ. How you doing, man?
Good. Just having a father in life is key, especially in a boy's life. And turning into a man, he need a male child needs a father to show him how to be a man. So that's really who I got to give all the thanks and the glory to, besides the man upstairs.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a great story, man. It was probably one of the coolest pictures I've seen, man. When I saw that you guys redid the picture as adults, I was like, that's pretty cool. I really liked that. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
You took a stab at Gallagher, which was expected. I gotta say, after like what he had to say after his last fight, I expected that you were gonna have something to say. It's not normally your style to be outspoken like that. You're kind of more like I'll show you what I got in the cage type of guy. What is it about him that's got your attention? That's kind of brought that side out of you?
He called me a pussy on national television, bro. That's ass whooping worthy all the way.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like where I grew up, if we were walking down the street and he like walks up and calls me a pussy, I'm clapping him in his mouth like right then and there. That's just like the highest level of disrespect besides calling somebody a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not gonna sink to his level and start calling and just doing all that crazy stuff. I got little kids that follow me and look up to me. I got little kids that DM me, hey, you're really like I want to be like you. Can you send me this? And I'm like, no, you don't want to be like me. You want to be better than me.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go play this Mr. Big Badass dude trying to be Mr. Billy Badass. He's
Right.
not a badass.
No.
Everybody knows he's not badass, and everyone can't wait for him to get his ass whooped. So, like I told him, I said, dude, you're a dog barking up a tree while a lion's climbing it.
I like that.
So
I like that
I
analogy.
think so I think he's starting to realize he fucked up, especially after I go out there and head kick this dude. He goes on his Instagram and he's talking about, I don't want to fight AJ. He said, fuck AJ, I don't want to fight AJ. I want to fight Patricio after Chinzo. I'm like, what? Like, you're running scared for the mountains now? You call me out on national television, call me a pussy, and now you don't want to fight.
Yeah. I feel like you're not letting him off the hook with this one, man. I feel like you're like, no, you're fighting me one way or another. We're gonna make this happen,
dude. Definitely. It's I honestly, my dad's like, it doesn't even make sense for you to fight him anyways. It's a step back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it is a step back, but this is on some principles. You know what I'm saying? This is on like some man to man or man to boy stuff. Like,
yeah,
you need to get your ass whooped.
And for the record, man, I don't know if it even matters the neighborhood you grew up in. If you call anybody a pussy to national television like that, I agree with you. Something's got to be done about that. You can't just allow that to happen. I understand completely. But I will say your dad kind of has a point. Like with the win this Saturday or Friday, sorry, you kind of cemented yourself as like, I'm no longer a prospect, but I'm a contender. It seems like there's bigger fish to fry than Gallagher. Like, is there somebody else you would rather have, like, or like a step forward? Who would be a step forward for you at this point?
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Pitbull's got that belt. That's all I care about. Strauss was the man. Strauss lost that belt, so I'm back on Pitbull now.
How do you feel you match up with him?
Stylistically wise, I feel it's a bad matchup for him, just because the reach, the height. He's got a lot of distance to cover on the inside coming forward, and me knowing my range is going to be a big problem with him, especially the way he was fighting Strauss against Southpaw. I don't think it's not a good style to fight Southpaws against, especially longer, bigger Southpaws.
Right. Like I don't think you're 22, man. How much longer do you have at 45? Like, what's your how hard is it for you to make weight? I mean, it's probably pretty easy right now, but is it going to be a problem for you going forward?
It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. I'm starting to get bigger.
Yeah.
I've put on. I used to walk around at about one. When I first started, the cut was from about 150. It was an easy cut.
Yeah.
157, and then now it's up to like 65.
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting bigger. I've been putting on more muscle, more power, and I'm starting to fill out. But I still make the weight easy. I eat the day before weigh-ins. I have breakfast, and then that's my last meal. But I don't know. Definitely before the end of this year. That's why I want to get that belt and beat John Jones' record. He was 23 when he got his world title. So I got a full year to knock that out the way.
Okay. And that's obviously the goal. After that, do you have like plans on like 2 divisions? Like, are you eyeing other goals? As you talk about like your weight getting up there, or whatever. Do you start to look at like 155 as being an option and eyeballing that division?
Definitely. We just gotta take things one step at a time.
Sure.
Get there, get that done first, and then of course 55 is definitely going to be an option. I get that belt, stay undefeated, go up there and take that 155 belt as well.
Absolutely.
Or I can take some time off, enjoy my life, and continue training and live a little family life for a little bit.
True.
And do some traveling.
Yeah, traveling's always good. I know you're a fan of traveling, man. You were trying to get back on that Italy card so you could get out there. They were loving some AJ out there.
I've been to Russia already. I've been to Dublin. I've been some places, Germany, Amsterdam. I'm getting around. I'm supposed to go to the Philippines tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna go. I've been doing too much.
Right.
Too much flying. I'm tired of getting on a plane right now.
Fair enough, and that's a long flight, man. That's like a 17-hour flight.
I know, and I just got back. I literally went from Russia to Budapest, and then from Budapest to Connecticut, and then from Connecticut, now I'm supposed to leave to Philippines tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm probably sit this long trip out.
Yeah. Definitely, man. I would not be doing well with a 17-hour flight, especially after all the flights you're talking about. That'd be crazy. What do you want next? What's the plan here? How quickly do you want to make your turnaround? What are you looking for? Are you going to wait and see what happens with Gallagher and Chinzo? What's the plan?
Hopefully I can I would love to get on that London card.
Oh, okay.
If I can't get on that London card, I'd love to get on the New York card. I'm trying to fight as soon as possible,
Sure, yeah,
once you got that fire, that flare going, you gotta keep it burning. So I'm hot right now.
Who would be a target at that point? I mean, that's soon. You're talking London's in like a few weeks, and end of June.
I'll be out there with Baby Slice, because Baby Slice is fighting there. So I'll already be out there, and I'll be back in the gym tomorrow. I literally just touched down back home right now. And I'm going to be back in the gym tonight, and then tomorrow morning's practice again.
So who at 45 that would be available? Like, is there anybody you have your eye on and be like, okay, you could maybe pitch this idea, or is it kind of like a replacement type thing? Like, what would you be looking for?
A replacement or an opponent, it doesn't matter to me. If a fight falls out, I'm willing to take the fight, 45 or 55.
Ooh, I like it. You really do have that flair going, man. You're like, I'll take whoever, 55, 45, doesn't matter, eh? I like it.
If I'm cutting the 45s, I don't have to cut the 45s. I can stay at 155 and get stronger and bigger. Oh, somebody's in trouble.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I like it. So listen, man. Outside of fighting, man, what do you do outside the cage? Tell the people, and what's AJ up to when he's got some time away from fighting and training?
Paintballing, man. I love paintballing. I usually go every Friday, Saturday, or not Friday. I'll usually go every Saturday, Sunday, but I haven't been in a while, so I'm definitely going to be up there tomorrow.
Nice.
Hollywood Paintball Sports out in I think it's Downey or something.
Okay.
But I like the paintball, and then I love cars. I got a '88 CRX with V18 in it, turbo, and
Nice.
now I'm getting an Evo. So
Good days. Hey, it's a good time to be AJ. Good time to be
Yeah.
AJ McKee. I got you, man.
cars, guns, and paintball, and that's what I love.
Nice, man. Sounds good. Listen, I really want to thank you, man, for taking some time to talk to us. I know you're a super busy guy. You're taking flights all over the place, and thanks for getting in touch with us and spending some time at the Fight House, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing.
Absolutely, man. And hopefully we can get in touch with you again before your next fight when something gets announced, and we could have you back on the show or something.
Of course, just let me know. I'm always down to tune in and give you guys some predictions.
Ah, I love it. All right, sounds good, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, have a good one.
You too, AJ. Have a good night.